Welcome to the Should Do for Lesson 1.4, and this is constructions. So if you look at the handout that you were given, it says you should watch this video. You're required to complete one of the following constructions. You need to earn a minimum of 5 points. So doing one construction will earn you 5 points. But you may earn extra credit if you complete more than one. Be sure to show all arc marks. All right, so we're going to use copy a segment, copy an angle, bisect an angle, bisect a segment. And I'm going to show you how to do the constructions. You just have to do them on your own, and you have to make sure that they're done correctly, and I can clearly see all the arc marks. Okay, so let's start with the first one, construct an equilateral triangle. First, you need to know the definition of an equilateral triangle. So equi is right in the word, so you can see equal. So it's a triangle that has 3 sides that are equal measure. All right, so remember, we're going to construct this. So let's start off with, I'm going to give myself the side of a triangle. All right, so let's start with, so that's going to be one side of my triangle. So I just drew one side, and now I want to copy that segment. Okay, so this is actually one of the easiest constructions that you can do, because remember, when we copy a segment, I'm going to turn my paper. It's always easier to do this. I just measure it first. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open up my compass, and I'll play with it until it gets right there. There you go. So that's how long my line segment is. It's that long. And that's how long I want it to, all 3 sides to be the same. So I'm going to start with this side over here, and I'm going to place my compass here. Remember, I'm using this like a pencil, and I'm going to make an arc right above. I'm going over to the other side over here, and I'm going to make an arc right above. So I just made 2 arcs. And now where those 2 arcs meet, I'm going to place a point. And I'm going to connect the 2 points. So from there to there, and from here to here. That side is the same as this, it's the same as this, because what we just did was we copied a segment. We copied that length here, and we copied it again here. So step 1, we drew a line segment. Step 2, we drew an arc here. Step 3, we drew the other arc on this side. We found the point that they met at, and then we connected. Okay, that earns you 5 points. All right, let's try doing the next one. Construct a 45-degree angle. Now look, this one earns you 10 points, so that must mean there's more steps to it. All right, let's take a look at what that one's going to look like. Number 2, a 45-degree angle. All right, so what is that? Well, let's see. A 90-degree angle, I'm just going to draw one over here, would look like this. And that's a right angle, and that's 90 degrees. So if I want a 45-degree angle, I want one that's half of that. So half of 90 divided by 2 is equal to 45. So we're going to cut that in half. So how do we do that? We bisect an angle. All right, so let's start off with, how do we make a 45-degree angle? All right, so I'm going to start off with constructing that. First thing I'm going to do is just draw a little segment. Now to make a 45-degree angle, I'm going to do bisect a segment. All right, so let's see what that looks like. That's the one where I'm going to take a point here at the end. Let's start on this end. And I'm going to open my compass a little past the halfway point. So you can see that's a little past the halfway point. And I'm going to make an arc mark above. And I'm going to make an arc mark below. I can connect it if I want to. Just go all the way along if I want. And I'm going to do the same thing from the other side. So I'm coming over here and making one above. Whoops. So sorry about that. And one below. Okay, so that's bisect a segment. Well, how does it bisect it? Well, I'm going to connect from here to here, and it's going to cut it in half. Now, the nice thing about when it does that, it also forms a 90-degree angle right there. Okay, so this angle right here is 90 degrees. So now I want to cut that angle in half. So how do I go about cutting that angle in half? Okay, so this is where, when we're looking at this looks a little messy. So I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter so you really can't see all of this. You need to see the arc marks, but you don't need to see all of that. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I need to see where I made the crosses. Okay, so it's a little bit cleaner. There's not a lot going on there. And now I'm going to bisect this angle. All right, so the way I do that, step one, I take my compass and I place it right there, that little box that I made. And I'm going to make an arc. So I just made this arc. From that little box, made a big arc. It meets there. And it also meets down here, but my line didn't go far enough, so I'm going to extend it. Here you go. So I want to know where that point is. So remember, we're looking for our 2 points. So this distance from here and here is equal. All right, so now I need one more set of arcs. I'm going to go from this point and make an arc. I'm going to turn the paper a little bit. I'm going to go from this point and make an arc. Where those 2 arcs meet, it's right there. I'm going to connect from here to there. From the center out. So I just did 2 constructions. I did a 90-degree angle, and then I cut that in half. So now this angle is 45 degrees, and this angle is 45 degrees. I just bisected an angle. Okay, we have one more construction to do. We want to create a square. Okay, this is worth 15 points. So anything that's worth 15 points, you know that it's going to be more work. All right, so it's going to be the same construction that we just did here because squares have 90-degree angles. So I want this thing to be a 90-degree. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to start off by giving ourselves a little segment to work with. So I'm going to make a square here. Okay, I want to make a 90-degree angle. So what I'm going to do is do the same construction we did before. I'm going to start at this end point and make an arc above and an arc below. Can you see it? There you go. I'm going to turn the paper and I'm going to make an arc above and an arc below. Oops, on this side I'm going to have to make it darker because I can't really see it. There, a little darker. Okay, so you can see I connected those 2. I have a point there and a point there, and I just made a nice 90-degree angle. Okay, so from here, right here, this angle is 90 degrees. And then I know from here to here is the same as from here to here because we bisected it. Okay, so then how am I going to make a square out of this? Okay, so what if I know the distance from here to here. And I know the distance from here to here is the same. Now, what if I go the other way? And I'm going to make the same distance. So I'm measuring this. I'm measuring from here to here, and from here to here it's the same. So let's go up this way. I'm going to copy that length. So I just put my compass mark there, and I copied that length. So now the distance from here to here is the same. And now we're going to go the other way. Starting there, making a mark there. So I just copied that. I'm going to connect my four corners. So from here to here, from here to here, there, and there. Okay, there's lots of other ways that you could create that, but you've just created a square. And we did it with bisect a segment, copy a segment. So we copied this length from here to here, and we have a square. Okay, so again, you only have to do the first one, and you're done. But if you want to attempt to do the other two, you can pick up as much as another 20 points or 25 points of extra credit if you do all three of them. Okay, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Please ask questions in class.